thunderstorm weekend. For the latest, download the Local 3 weather app. I'm Local 3 Storm Alert meteorologist Hannah Sky.
This is your ESPN Sports Update for Tuesday, August 25th. The Los Angeles Dodgers are in Atlanta for a 3-game set with the Braves. First pitch is at 7:15. You can hear that game right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3 and Mix 104.1. The Braves' lead in the National League East is 3.5 games. Tennessee named true freshman Faison Brandon as the starting quarterback versus Furman. The Big Ten is set to pass a rule that doesn't allow players to return from the NFL and play for one of its schools. Any player who has declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appear on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster. The Big Ten's ruling comes in the wake of 2 NFL players, Browns' Daquan Wright and Saints' Xavier Harris, parting with their respective teams to join Lane Kiffin's roster at LSU. Keep it here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3 and catch Andy, Jacob, and me, Jim, today on The Drive at 4 o'clock.
You're listening to Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. The Drive is coming up. The ESPN Cleveland 101.3 lineup is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. WholesaleSupply.us.
Cityscope Magazine. Beautiful, engaging, uplifting, inspiring. It's that time to relax and enjoy your day. Featuring businesses, sports, entertainment, the arts, homes, fashion, food, and more. Experience the beauty of stunning photography. Enjoy the stories of local men and women, the success of coworkers and friends. Cityscope Magazine. It's that time to relax. It's sure to make your day. See us online or subscribe at cityscopemag.com. Cityscopemag.com. Cityscope Magazine. It's that time to relax and enjoy your day.
I'm Jacob Mason.
I'm Jim Gum.
And I'm Andy Morris. Tune in to The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3 weekdays from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardee's. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no slap. Got a thirst for killing. Grab your body.
Welcome back into The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Hope everyone out there is having a good Tuesday. And it's just myself and Mason. Where's
in honor of Andy. We're going to get one cracked open here to start the show. Got my nice little energy drink. Yeah. I'll be honest, though. I love cracking one of these at 4 o'clock versus having to wait until 5. That waiting until 5 was for the birds. It was so rough, but almost to get through the conversation, I had to crack one of these open. Now I get to do it a whole hour earlier.
All right, now listen, this is a sports show, and we're going to talk sports, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about today, but we are in this great state of Tennessee, and we lost one of the greatest Tennesseans of all time today.
I mean, could you say that she probably is the greatest Tennessean?
You can argue that, and I think that you would probably win the argument. For everything she's done for this state, we're talking about Dolly Parton, in case you're out there and you haven't heard, she passed away today, age 80. What an unbelievable life she's lived. And she helped so many people.
I mean, my son benefits from the books that she sends every month. I know families that live right on the Tennessee line that have tried to get involved in that program. She has done more for our state than I can think. I guess in my lifetime, I'm sure there's been great Tennesseans.
Oh, there have been.
But in my lifetime, I don't know that there has ever been someone that has given more and done more. And I even think about Pigeon Forge and all of that without Dollywood and what they've done up there and how well I know I've been up there recently. Mm-hmm. It's like a mini Disney World.
It is.
It truly is.
I remember when that was Silver Dollar City, and it was floundering, probably in the red. It probably was not making a profit. I went there one time when it was called Silver Dollar City, and it was just it was nowhere near what it is now. Now it's an unbelievable theme park. You've got the water park that goes along with it.
She's got her own Buc-ee's up there.
Yeah, I mean, just her hand was on so many things up there. Remember the fires that we had up there, and she was behind all of the rebuilding and a lot of that stuff there. She was just such a great ambassador for the entire state of Tennessee. Listen, she's a great American, but she's an unbelievable Tennessean.
You know what's crazy? She said that probably her favorite song she's ever written is locked up in a vault and it's not to be opened, and she knew that she was never going to get to hear it played. Like there's a Dolly Parton song that she believes is her best ever that none of us have heard yet.
Really? I hadn't heard that story.
So that's almost something to look forward to in our future. I want to say they said to open it up in I can't remember how many years, but it's in the vault.
Probably after I die, so I probably won't get to hear it too.
I don't know, Jim. You're looking awful nice.
Oh man, I tell you what, getting back to what we talked about yesterday, Kenny Hooper. I went to high school. We graduated together, and I've seen so many of my classmates from the class of, and I'm Bradley, class of '79. So many of my classmates have already passed away, and it's like, wow, reality starts to, set in. You're like, okay. I mean, you start, listen, when you reach my age, you start doing the math. You look, average lifespan for a white male in the deep South, which we are, well, mid-South. And it's like 77, 78.
Yeah.
And I've started doing the math. I'm like, okay, Jim, you only got, a little more than a decade if you're average. You start thinking about it. Now, listen, I'm a believer, so I know that beyond life here on Earth, it's going to be much better. But I'll miss seeing my friends and watching college football. I'm sure there's much more important and fun things to do in heaven than there is watching your football team play. But I still like it.
You've always said on the show, time is a thief, and
Father Time's undefeated. I've said that too.
Yeah, it's something that. Is very, very sad. And it's been a week of mourning for my family as well.
Yeah,
but
your grandfather.
I think about how blessed for 89 years. 89 years of life. He got to watch his grandkids have kids. And to see them grow and get to do that, it's been awesome.
Yeah, you're very, very lucky because I did not grow up with a grandfather. One of my grandfathers was dead before I was ever born. The other one died, I think I was 2. And so I really don't remember a grandfather. So that's something that, don't take stuff like that for granted, man. I mean, people that have their parents are still alive, man, appreciate when you've got your mother, your father, and people like that around you, because it is something that I miss my mom and dad. I mean, and it's just one of those things where it is what it is,
Yeah. Well, again, Dolly Parton, one of the greatest Tennesseans ever. If you're Jacob Mason, you think that she probably is the greatest Tennessean ever. Passed away today. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that honor, her life.
Oh, yeah, and obviously we're going to be playing, I know we're playing on Mix and the Oldie Station, a lot of Dolly Parton songs right now because, I mean, she is, like I said, she is the one of the greatest Tennesseans of all time, and listen, it's one of those things where we knew this day was coming. We knew, nobody lives forever, but it's still, at 80 years old, it still came to me when I saw it. I'm like, oh my gosh, Dolly Parton passed away. It's still a shock, even for an older person like that. I don't know why. When someone reaches their 80s, you used to start thinking, okay, this could happen at any time,
Absolutely. So, our phone, somebody keeps on calling thinking they're calling Enterprise.
Enterprise rent a car. Yeah. Well, go ahead and take it and rent them a car.
Hey,
go ahead and rent them a car.
They may get a really good deal. I had to. So with all that, my wife was in a wreck on Friday, and so the van is sitting at the shop. I recently have been to Enterprise, but I don't even think our numbers are similar. I don't even think they're the same. But
I'll tell you what's one. I get calls all the time. There's an optometrist, I think, up in Knox County that has a number very similar to mine. His starts with 865, and of course mine's 423.
Yeah.
I get those. I've gotten those calls for decades now, and I just tell them. I say, oh yeah, I said that's it. I said just you need to dial 865.
Well, you know who's been getting calls all week long? It's LSU and
Oh my
guys
God.
that are in the NFL that are on the cut list saying, "Hey, I heard there's a potential that us NFL players can come back to LSU and play football."
Yeah, that's a mess right now. And I tell you what, the Big Ten here, the Big Ten just announced that that's not going to happen in their league, and it's not going to happen in the SEC. These guys are not going to play. There's just no way. It's not going to happen.
And I'm glad the Big Ten came out and did it. And I know the Big Ten and the SEC like to have this pissing match of who's going to be the best conference and make the right decision. Do you think the SEC's they made a statement last night?
They made a statement.
We sent it in our group.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the SEC's hands are tied because of the lawsuit that sits in Louisiana that
Yes.
allows it? So I
think they do.
They condemned it, but they technically are not ready to say you can't do this.
I did see something earlier where 14 of the 16 SEC schools are strongly against it. One is kind of on the fence, and the other one is for it, and that's the LSU athlete. Let me read what the Big Ten has put out. This is a statement from the Big Ten Conference. The Big Ten Conference announced Tuesday the unanimous adoption of a conference rule to prohibit football players who have signed a professional contract, were on a professional roster at any point, or declared for the NFL draft as an underclassman without withdrawing from maintaining eligibility for athletic competition at a conference institution. The conference continues to evaluate potential rules restricting professional athletes in other sports from conference competition. Here's the thing. They just said the word football was in here. To me, it should be professional sports. That means basketball, baseball, you name it. If you go pro, you're ineligible to come back to college. They specifically declared football, but maybe they'll do more down the road as far as for other sports. But
hats off to Dan Lanning, because really, in my opinion, he's the one who said
the Oregon head coach.
Yeah, he's the one who said the hard thing first. And we even had this conversation off air when it comes to like Ryan Day. Ryan Day basically said, "I don't like it, but if it's going to happen, then
we'll look into it.
We'll look into it."
Yeah, and I disagreed with that too.
Dan Lanning put his head in the sand and basically said, "No,
we're not doing that.
This
here.
is wrong. We're not doing it here." And really, I think that's what kind of snowballed this. And hopefully, that's LSU. We talked about this coming into the show today. LSU has quickly taken the hat away from Texas Tech.
They have.
Texas Tech, if you would have asked me this summer who the villain of college football was going to be this year, it was going to be Texas Tech.
And that's
With
Sorsby,
the whole
the gambling and everything.
They almost can just go sit and hang out. Nobody's going to think about it because LSU, headline after headline after headline. Lord, we just read a headline that the FBI came and did a sweep of Ole Miss because they were afraid the coach left.
Yeah, Kiffin had left bugs. Yeah.
Like what?
I mean,
what more does Lane Kiffin have to do? Like and I'll give it to him. Andy talks about it all the time. He tricked Andy. In the back of my heart, I always knew that Lane Kiffin was a little slimy.
He's a snake.
Like I thought that he did a good job, but I knew once Ole Miss's time had come and gone that he was off somewhere else, and he got the opportunity at LSU and hop ship. But man, when he hopped ship, it was like he's throwing frag grenades at anybody that gets close.
There was so much stuff that was going on between Ole Miss and LSU. This just is this is fuel on the fire. When those two teams get together, it's LSU against the whole world at this point now.
Yeah.
Really and truly, we've seen coaches go from one school to another. We've seen that happen multiple times. It's just the way that he goes about things. It just rubs people the wrong way. And what he's been doing over the last 2 days with the, trying to get, guys that didn't make an NFL roster and using the rule that, hey, listen, these guys played 4 years. Now the rule is that you can play 5 years. You can't retroactively go back. But they're using judges to make rulings and say, yes, you can go back.
Well, and really, I can't prove this for fact, But I think that Lane Kiffin had a major role in all of this happening in general because he called the Browns
in advance
weeks
of all
ago.
this stuff.
Weeks ago, asking about
he's
him.
actually saying that he didn't call it, but someone else
Todd-
may have said that someone used his name.
Okay,
whatever.
Someone on his staff, Todd Monken, basically called him out in a press conference and said, "I should have listened when I missed the call of Lane Kiffin to blah blah blah." Like Lane is a snake moving in the grass, and I think. No, we used to think that week 3, and it is week 3 with Ole Miss is going to be bad.
It's going to be crazy.
But I think it's going to be bad wherever he goes. And he's going to sit here and say, "Oh, it's just the reputation I have." Dude, you bring it on yourself.
Yep.
You have brought this on yourself. You are the villain of college football, and you continue to bring it to your doorstep.
Hey, I'd love to hear some of our listeners out there. Give us your opinion of what's going on. Text us on the Warner Griffin text line, 423-749-1013. That's 423-749-1013. Let us know your thoughts about what's going on. Should the Southeastern Conference also draft a referendum? How do you say that word? Referendum about not allowing players that have been on NFL rosters or played in preseason games or even been in NFL camps from going back to college. I would love to hear our listeners. Is there anybody that supports what Lane Kiffin's doing? I think most people are in our camp, but there may be someone out there that says, yeah, I'm okay with it.
If you entered your name in the draft and you went through the draft process, it's done.
Yeah.
It's over.
And even if you weren't drafted, the fact that you – and listen, and here's it. If you exhausted your 4 years of eligibility, and let's be honest, the kids that signed in 2022 had 4 years to play college football. That's it. The kids that sign in 2026 have 5 years. The rules changed. You can't go back in time. Listen, people used to ride horses, Now we ride, in cars and stuff like that. Things change, but you can't go back and redo stuff, and you can't undo stuff. I'm just one of these things where if you signed in 2022, you didn't get 5 years.
Yeah,
you got 4.
tough.
But they're trying to say, and I get it. Why? Because the NIL, there's money to be made, and that's the thing. I don't know. I heard this today. You know what a guy on an NFL practice squad, you know what he makes?
Probably around $250 a year to $500.
He makes $13,500 a week.
Okay.
I mean,
That's great money.
That's unbelievable money. And yet, some of these guys can make more going back to college than they can now. It's crazy,
Well, I mean,
man.
you look at Carson Beck. Carson Beck made more going back to Miami than he's going to make in his rookie year here in the NFL. It's true.
Yeah.
Simply, it's just true.
It's
where we are.
unbelievable. And the fact that now, obviously, if you get cut from a team, you're making zero. Okay, so there's no money there. So if you actually don't make the practice squad, you're making zero. So, I mean, here's the thing: there is a UFL. It's a spring league. You can play in the UFL. Develop yourself a little bit more because there are guys that have jumped from the UFL to the National Football League. I know there's a few players. There's a kicker. I can't remember. Remember the guy that was making all those long field goals in the UFL? He made a roster. I cannot remember which team he's on, but he showed what he was capable of doing. Go play in the UFL in the spring. If you do something great there, then they're watching. Listen, if you're an NFL scout, you're watching Division III, Division II, Division I, the UFL, the CFL. You're looking everywhere where you can find talent, and they'll find you. If you're good enough, they'll find you. Just go to the CFL or go to the UFL, but you can't go back to college.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jim, we've ran into our first break. Tell our listeners what they can expect coming up next.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but I want to talk a little bit about the Braves. A big series starts tonight with the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'll get into that when we come back. You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardee's.
Honda of Cleveland is giving away a brand new 2027 Honda Civic to a deserving coach this year. From Pee Wee League to the college level, all athletic coaches are eligible. Each month, we will choose a coach for that month, and at the end of the year, the 12 finalists will gather to be celebrated and see who wins that brand new 2027 Honda Civic from Honda of Cleveland. Nominate your favorite coach at mymix1041.com.
Think Vic, trust Vic, choose Vic. Leg pain when walking, varicose veins, poor circulation, these may be signs of vascular disease, and early treatment can make all the difference. At the Vascular Institute of Chattanooga, our specialists provide advanced treatments to restore blood flow and help prevent serious complications. Appointments in days, no referral needed, 6 convenient locations. Think Vic, trust Vic, choose Vic. Visit vascularinstituteofchattanooga.com.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
Cleveland Exteriors has a brand new showroom at their new location to better serve the Cleveland-Bradley County area on Highway 64. ClevelandExteriors.com.
Tuesday is $2 off drafts at Aubrey's Cleveland.
At First Horizon, we know if there's a win, there's a way. Our team is here to help every step of the way with personal, business, or private banking. Stop by and visit us at one of our locations in Cleveland or give us a call at 423-559-7660. At First Horizon, we look forward to finding a way.
When the Tennessee heat is on or winter temperatures drop, trust Stout Mechanical Solutions Heating and Air to keep your home or business comfortable year-round. From residential and commercial repairs, seasonal maintenance, and complete system replacements, their experienced team delivers service you can count on. And when it's time for a new system, ask about American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built for reliability, efficiency, and lasting comfort. Don't wait until your system lets you down. Call Stout Mechanical Solutions Heating and Air today at 423-464-3693. Stout Mechanical Solutions Heating and Air, proudly featuring American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-364-2314. 800-364-2314. 800-364-2314.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardee's. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Mayfield Dairy Chocolate Milk is a great recovery drink for athletes or anyone who exercises, rich in calcium and vitamin D. Get Mayfield's famous chocolate milk at numerous locations in our area. Find out more at mayfielddairy.com. And, of course, that leads us right into talking a little bit about what's going on with the Atlanta Braves. Huge 3-game series begins tonight. The Braves are at home for 3 against the Dodgers. All the games at 7:15. Of course, you can hear that game right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3 or on Mix 104.1. But this is a big series for the Braves.
Yeah, absolutely. On the bump tonight for the Dodgers, Tyler Glasnow. He's going to be facing off against Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder is 8-7 with a 3.92 ERA. Glasnow is this 3-0 with the Dodgers?
Yeah, he's been out for a while. He's been on, but he's.
Or is it so? It'd be 3-0 season long then, if he's been out.
Yeah, he's been out. He's been out. So, but he's got great stuff, man. When
he's 3-0, 2.72 ERA. Gonna be a good little matchup. I think the Braves realistically got to win at least one in a 3-game series. You can't. I think to be safe, you win 2 of these, then you've got to win. They've got 4 coming up against The Colorado Rockies plus the one against San Francisco.
Right, the rain-out makeup game there. Now, the Braves did gain a half game last night because Phillies got beat, but still, the Phillies have been hot, man. They've been hot, and ever since, like we talked a little bit about this yesterday, ever since that Don Mattingly took over that managerial job, he's done a great job there in Philadelphia. The bottom line is you're going to get the playoffs. The Braves are, I think it's 99% chance they're in the playoffs. So they're going to make the postseason. Is that the matchups, the pitching, who's going to be healthy. I think 31 games to go. A lot of things can change between now and then, not only for the Braves, but the other teams are in the playoffs as well. So it's one of those things where pitching is everything in the postseason. And I like the Braves. Their bullpen's solid, man. If they can get to the fifth inning and they're within a run or two, the Braves are probably going to be in good shape. It's that starting pitching. That's the key.
Yeah, and really the bats just have been, in my opinion, underwhelming throughout the season.
Other than Matt Olson's been the most consistent guy.
Matt Olson has 36 home runs. He's playing great baseball, and really that's what we've come to know about him. He's a guy that's going to play every single day, and he's going to go out there and give you your best. It's those in betweens where Austin Riley's been really streaky, where you've got Michael Harris can sometimes get a little streaky.
Even Acuna has been streaky when he's been in the lineup.
And see, that's being critical of Michael Harris because he's hitting, I think, 294 on the year, and so it's
he was barely above 200 last year.
Right, and so it's really, I guess, timely hitting is the best thing. Like we've got guys that are hitting the baseball and putting the ball in play, but when LOB, in my opinion, it's one of the biggest left on base.
Yep.
That's one of the biggest stats in baseball, LOB. And when it comes to, I would love to know where the Braves sit at LOB on the season because there's, in my opinion, that's what has been the difference makers not being able to bring runs.
Leaving those guys on
Yep.
base, especially in scoring position.
Yep, when they get into scoring position.
It's one thing. You get a guy on second base or third base with less than 2 outs, and they don't score. Man, that just drives you crazy. It drives you crazy. But this is a huge series for the Atlanta Braves. I think tonight is, I hate to say, the most important game of the 3-game set because you want to make sure you get that first game under your belt. If they do, I think then they'll feel a lot better about games 2 and games 3. Oh, I forgot to turn this back on, man. My bad. The streaming, man, I got to get used to that. But no, I think that game 1 tonight is big. And Glasnow is a guy that when he's on, he's got electric stuff. Bryce Elder is a consistent guy. Usually, I mean, every now and then he'll get shelled, but more often than not, you're going to be in the game when he's on the mound. But Glasnow, when he is on, he's one of the elite pitchers in Major League Baseball when he's been healthy. That's the thing about him. You just don't know about his health.
Yeah. And really, again, this is like October baseball in August. If things go right, these two teams are going to clash up against each other at some point in time as long as the Braves can handle business. But really, I just want to see good competitive matchups, and I think we've got it. We have to. We cannot get swept by them. We cannot afford to get swept by them. We got to at least win one. You're at home. I really think that you should be able to take 2.
Here's the thing. When you're playing a team like the Dodgers, you've got a chance of, getting beat. But when you're playing teams like Colorado and then other teams like, well, I'm going to say Washington, even because Washington, they can score a lot of runs, but, man, they give up a lot. But then when you've got games like the Dodgers, this 3-game series, then you got the Philadelphia Phillies, then the Braves have got Tampa Bay coming in, and then Philadelphia again. When you're playing teams like that and the Cubs, and those are the teams where if you just hold your own, but you got to make hay against the Colorado Rockies and teams like that. So that's where the Braves have really been kind of like scratching your head. You're losing to teams they have no business losing to.
Yeah.
Now losing to Milwaukee, there's no shame in that. Milwaukee's a really good team, but man, they've lost some series against some teams that are like mediocre here lately, and those are the ones that drive you crazy.
Yeah, and I know the Dodgers cooled off there for a little bit, but there's only 5 games that separate these two. I'm pretty sure the Dodgers have 80 wins. The Atlanta Braves have 75. I know the rosters. We look at how much they're spending on payroll versus how much we're spending on payroll. if you can come out of this winning two out of those three, heading into the Rocky series, you feel really good about your division hopes.
Yeah, the Braves have got 76 wins, the Dodgers 80. So it's four-game difference. Well, the Milwaukee Brewers still have the best record in the National League at 81-50. By the way, did you see where, like, if you look at the other divisions, the American League West, you've got three teams. Your first place team, the Texas Rangers, 66-66. There's a chance that you could have a Major League Baseball team making the postseason sub 500. That is brutal, man.
Yeah,
that's brutal. We've seen that happen in football. I cannot recollect a team making the postseason sub 500 in Major League Baseball. Maybe it has happened, and I just don't remember. I remember the 73 Mets. They were barely over 500. Not only did they win the division, they won the National League, NLCS, and made it to the World Series. But for a team to be right at 500, we're talking about the Texas Rangers. By the way, the Astros are just a half game behind. They're at 65-66. But there's a real chance the American League West champ could be right at 500 or under 500, which is just amazing. That right there shows there's not enough games, inter-division games in Major League Baseball. Your schedule is spread out so much. First off, I think there's way too many interleague games. I don't think there needs to be as many interleague games. I think the interleague games are just they should feel more special than they are. But I think you should be playing your inter-divisional opponents more than they are now. They're just not. They're not playing each other enough.
Yeah, I enjoy watching game. Like I love when Mike Trout comes to town. Like I love getting to see some guys that I normally wouldn't see. But when we're talking about postseason and what should determine postseason, like I feel like you should be playing your interleague a little bit more.
If you're going to win the National League East, then you should win the National League East by playing those guys more often than they do. They changed that about 3, maybe 4 years ago, where they expanded the interleague play by taking away your division of games, some away from your division, playing the National League Central and National League West, which is fine, which is what they're doing tonight with the Dodgers. But there should be more games against the Phillies, Marlins, Nationals, and Mets. That's just my opinion. And the same holds true with the West, American League West. The Rangers and Astros, Mariners and Angels and Athletics should be playing each other more. If they did, I don't think you'd be sitting here with a team like the Rangers at 66-66 because they would have won more games against the Mariners and Angels and Athletics. To me, that's a flaw. It's a flaw in the way they do this.
Well, if you're wanting to watch the Braves, you can watch them on Braves Vision, like my friend Andy. If you're cheap like me and won't spend the money to get Braves Vision until it's going to be like $4.99 right before postseason play,
you ain't going to do it then, now.
You can listen to them right here on our. Is it going to be on Mix 104.1?
Mix 104.1 and ESPN.
ESPN Cleveland. Mm-hmm. All 3 games at 7:15.
Ben Ingram.
They do roll into there's going to be no break. They're going to roll right into that Colorado series as well.
Yep.
But we got to take a quick break. When we come back, Tennessee got some good news.
They did. The Vols got some good news today. Got good news yesterday and really good news again today. Hey, you're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardee's.
At Chattanooga Exteriors, we provide effective, high-quality design solutions in an ethical manner to the Cleveland, Tennessee area using only superior products.
Visit us at ChattanoogaExteriors.com or call us at 423-805-3800.
HealthScope Magazine. Beautiful, informative, inspiring, uplifting, healthy lifestyles for women, family, and friends. HealthScope Magazine. Get the latest on diet and fitness, hair and skincare, food and recipes, parenting, relationships, and more. HealthScope Magazine. Look for it now or visit healthscopemag.com. HealthScope Magazine. Healthy lifestyles for women, family, and friends.
The Paul Feinbaum Show on ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is presented by Hardee's.
Hey y'all, this is Alfonso, General Manager over at Crown Cleveland. Please visit us online to see our entire used car inventory, all different makes and models, all different budget levels. Please give us an opportunity. Google Crown Cleveland.
Text us at 423-749-1013 on the Warren and Griffin text line. Cleveland's personal injury attorneys.
For decades, Best Buy Metals has been shaping more than metal. We've been building strength, one roof, one wall, one community at a time. This isn't just roofing and siding, it's still formed with purpose. Made to withstand difficult storms, because what we make doesn't just cover buildings, it protects what matters most. Get inspired today by visiting bestbuymetalroof.com. Best Buy Metals, designed to inspire, made to protect, driven to serve.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
Is a 401k all you need to prepare for retirement? There is much more to retirement beyond single investments. Comprehensive financial planning is what we offer here at Alon Planning Partners. 423-315-1441 or visit alonplanning.com. That's ALLON planning.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Hey, this is Pastor James from Mount Olive Ministries, and I'd like to invite you and your family to come and experience what God is doing at Mount Olive. You know, oftentimes people ask me what they might expect when they attend our church. Well, let me tell you, when you arrive on our campus, whether it's been a while since you've been in church or this is your first time visiting, you'll receive a warm welcome. We want you to know that we are glad you're here. As we enter into a time of worship, you'll discover that we're a group of people passionate about worship. We strive to create an environment that allows us to engage and encounter the presence of God. And then as we open up the Bible, we learn and grow together as God speaks to us both individually and corporately. So again, whether it's been a few months or maybe even a few years since you've been to church, we want you to know that you are welcome here. And if by some chance you're unable to attend in person, you can still worship with us online through our Facebook page by searching Mount Olive Ministries. We meet every Sunday at 11 a.m. Mount Olive is located at 3522 Harrison Pike. We hope to see you and your family soon.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardee's. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Hope everybody out there is having a good Tuesday afternoon. And when we went to break, we said, hey, we thought Tennessee fans had a good day yesterday. They had another good day today. Yesterday, of course, they know who their starting quarterback is. It's going to be Faison Brandon. And then today, the suspension of Vols linebacker Arian Carter was reduced to one game. And let's be honest, against Furman, he probably wasn't going to play maybe a half of a game anyway. So they're not going to miss him against Furman. Having him in the game against Georgia Tech, that's huge.
Yeah, big news for them. And really, like you said, half a game versus now he's just sitting and resting up and letting other guys get reps. It's not worth fighting the NCAA over. All of this is in lieu of all the stuff that's going on with the NFL players and their potential return. Me and you are of the camp that we don't think that it'll happen. It may happen. But great news for Tennessee. You know, Lane Kiffin, even in the midst of a break, we learned that he just continues and continues and continues to look like the villain of college football.
Yeah, we've got Drew Akins. Of course, he's a big Ole Miss guy. debating whether I bring this up to him or not.
Coach Akins loves talking Ole Miss, and he loves talking college football. Like, he'll come on and talk about the show, but really he enjoys talking about the landscape of college football, and I'd like to know what he thinks, especially when when Lane Kiffin comes out and says this. Excuse me. It says LSU's Lane Kiffin said that conferences can't pick and choose the court orders they want to follow after discussions of banning NFL players. Doesn't work like that. You can't decide, hey, I like that injunction. I don't like that one. That play I kind of like, and I like the way they got him eligible. So we're going to follow those rules, not those. Again, he knows better. If we're sitting here as individuals who have nothing to do with college football and know that this is bad for the game, a guy who coaches it every day knows so too.
Yeah, absolutely, he knows it. And here's the thing: yes, you can pick and choose. You can pick and choose which rulings you like more than others. I mean, some rulings are kind of like, I can't believe that, and some are like, I cannot believe that. Some are just a little bit more far-fetched than others. So absolutely you can pick and choose which ones you like.
My thing is, and I'm not saying that they're going to, but I think the SEC has to have the cojones to just come out and say, you know what? Okay, fine. Your court order in Louisiana says they can play. We don't have to recognize it. We don't have to recognize your wins with those guys on the field as eligible players. So here's what's going to happen. You go play your season, and you go play all these teams in the SEC. After every game, we're counting it as a loss. You're not going to be eligible for the SEC championship. If the NCAA doesn't want to do anything about it, that's up to them. But we as the SEC are sitting here saying you will not compete for an SEC title as long as those guys are on the field. And at least they stood up and tried.
The Big Ten has passed again their ruling today. The ACC is supposed to do it tomorrow. I haven't heard about the Big 12. I fully expect the Southeastern Conference is going to do the same thing, with or without LSU doing it. And listen, I don't know if it has to be unanimous. I mean, I would think if 14 or 15 out of the 16 schools want to do what the Big Ten and the ACC are going to do, I think it would still pass.
I don't know who that 15th school is, but I'll go ahead and tell you they're going to get 14 calls and say, you better not end up on the wrong side of this.
Exactly. So, listen, at the end of the day, here's the thing. The president of LSU or the athletic director at LSU, they're the boss of Lane Kiffin. They can, if they want, they can tell him, no, you're not doing this, Lane. We're ordering you not to do this. We're not allowing you to do this. They have the authority to do that.
And see, the problem is I think they're too far gone and too head into this molehill, because if you remember all the offseason stuff that happened, LSU president, I believe, was fired, wasn't he? Or the athletic director? There's been a lot of change in the front office there because of what happened with Brian Kelly, so much so that the governor of the state got involved.
The governor did get involved.
And so, there's just who's in charge there? I have no idea. And really,
Kim Mulkey.
Lord, don't even get started on that.
We've got a story about her too. I'll get into that here in a minute.
Now LSU's dealing with political stuff.
We've got a Russian. I'll go ahead and throw it since I brought it up.
We're here.
So Kim Mulkey, last year they had a Ukrainian born girl on their team. She was with I think she averaged 8 points a game or something like that.
Dad's fighting in the war.
Her father is fighting for Ukraine in the war against Russia. So what does LSU do? They sign a Russian girl, and the Ukrainian is so upset with. She just quits the LSU basketball team on Sunday night. I'm like, you got to read the room better than this. You know her dad was fighting for Ukraine against Russians. Of course, a Ukrainian girl is not going to be wanting to play with a Russian girl. I don't know.
LSU is looking like the WNBA right now.
Oh my gosh!
Let's just say we'll just say that they can't stay out of the headlines, and really they are going to come out on the wrong side of this, and they're going to look back like we're talking about right now.
I do not believe we're going to see any of these guys that were in NFL camps playing in college football. I don't believe that's going to happen.
I want to believe that. I truly do. I want to believe that that's not going to happen. But in the landscape of where we're at with college football, I have no idea. Jim, I have no idea.
Let me ask you this. Let's say the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the ACC all say no former NFL guys on our rosters, but Mid-American Conference, Sun Belt Conference, Mountain West. What if they say, yeah, you can play here? What would you say? I would still be against it, but I don't think that's a threat because, first off, they can't pay the guys like the Big Four, and I don't know if those guys would want to be playing for those teams.
But, okay, let's say that happens, right? The SEC says you can't do it, and Lane Kiffin just says, okay, we're doing it. We have a court order that says you can. You can't stop us. And, even if they go along with my threat, that still doesn't stop their ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to win a national championship. And so, Lane Kiffin is the guy to say, I don't really care what you think. This is what the law states. And just because they made it happen in a law somewhere down in Louisiana doesn't mean that it's right for college football. People are wild.
Could you imagine? Imagine. Just think about this. What if LSU says, by gosh, we're doing it anyway, and they go ahead and they run the table. They're sitting there at 12-0. The SEC says, nah, you can't play in the SEC championship game. But with the selection committee, would they say you can't play in the CFP? But then the Outback Bowl says, but you can play in our bowl game. Could you imagine if you see a scenario like that where you've got some saying, yeah, you can't do this, but they're saying, yeah, but you can come play in our bowl game.
If all Power 4 conferences come out and say it's not allowed and LSU does it anyways because they have a court order that says they could, I could see the playoff committee saying they have an unfair advantage that nobody else is. We're not selecting.
Yeah, I can't imagine that the selection committee will invite them. It is an invitation. Well, you are selected. I know it's not an invitation. So you are selected.
This is going back to – we've already done this. Alabama tried it.
In basketball,
we've already done,
well, he actually played.
I know, but I'm sitting here just saying Greg Sankey needs to grow a pair and call LSU and say, get ready. All of your funding's going to be cut. If you're willing to die on this molehill, your boosters better have more money than sin. Otherwise, you are going to be fined and cut. Your all this is going to be cut from you. I don't understand where all of that went in a world where we used to have control and have order. Why can Jacob Mason, sitting behind a tech board, have better ideas than Greg Sankey, who's sitting over there in the office and allowing this to look like a circus?
What bothered me last night about that statement put up at the SEC is that it was saying we don't agree with this, but there was no teeth to it. I think they're going to have to. They're going to. The Southeastern Conference is going to jump in with the Big Ten and the ACC. I'm 100% sure that. And the Big 12 too. I haven't heard anything about the Big 12, but I'm sure they all will.
What if Texas Tech hops on LSU's train?
Oh God, could you imagine?
What if they're like our name is already like
we're good with Sorsby, come on back. You can go ahead and play anyway.
God,
could you imagine? When the season began, you brought this up earlier. I thought there's no way that any team was going to be more like everyone's rooting against them than Texas Tech. I didn't think it was possible for someone to outdo Texas Tech. But, man, LSU has done it. They have outdone it, have they?
Let's give a round of applause for Lane Kiffin.
And it just makes that Game 3 just rise to the top even more. It is going to be so – the atmosphere, you'll be able to cut it with a knife, man.
It's going to be wild. Well, we're right up against our last break of the hour. Lane Kiffin dominating the conversation today.
Of course.
He's got us all riled up here in the station.
I tell you what, when we come back, I'm going to try to stump Jacob and Jacob alone, and I don't think I can do it. I think Jacob's going to get this. This is gettable.
If it has anything to do with stadium names,
no, it does not.
I'm going to be out.
Hey, you're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardee's.
At Chattanooga Exteriors, we provide effective, high-quality design solutions in an ethical manner to the Cleveland, Tennessee area using only superior products.
Visit us at ChattanoogaExteriors.com or call us at 423-805-3800.
The final days of Honda Cleveland's summer event are here, and the lowest prices of the season and those one-time offers are just about over. Drive a new 26 Civic Sport for $249 a month, or move up to a 26 Accord LX for only $229 a month. Civic $249 a month, Accord $229 a month, plus no payments for 90 days. Only at Honda Cleveland. And Honda has earned KBB's best overall brand, most trusted brand, and best value brand. Plus, Honda Cleveland's locally owned, unlike those other guys, by a family with deep, solid roots in our community. So don't miss your chance to get the best deals of the season from the best Honda dealer in the region. 36-month leases with $39.99 down plus tax, tag, title, dealer fees, and first month's payment. No security deposit required with approved credit. Offer ends 9/8/26. See dealer for complete details. Honda Cleveland, your car, your way, every day. I-75 exit 20, just 1 mile east. Hope to see you soon.
Good morning. This is your Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match alarm. We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready, or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any 2 for just $5 for a limited time, only at Hardee's. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
A Don Ledford Chevrolet GMC special announcement. Now, hear this, Cleveland and Bradley County. For the first time in our history, Don Ledford Chevrolet GMC is offering employee pricing on all new 2026 Chevy and GMC cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Plus, you get all eligible factory incentives that your choice qualifies for. Yes, you heard right. You pay what we pay. This isn't just certain models. It's all models of our new 2026 Chevrolets and GMCs in stock. Silverados, Sierras, Tahoes, Yukons, Equinox, Trax. It doesn't matter. Whatever you choose, you get the employee price. This one-time offer is only good through August 31st. So come in early for the best selection. Chevrolet, let's do it together. GMC, we are professional grade. Don Ledford Chevrolet GMC on North Lee Highway in Cleveland, where we say yes. Se habla Espanol. Your employee pricing is plus tax, tag, title, and dealer documentary fee. Sale ends August 31st.
When you need a new roof, it's all about trust. Your home is too big an investment and you can't afford to make a mistake. Cleveland Plywood has the products and expertise you're looking for. Contractors have trusted them for over 50 years, and they carry only proven products from reputable suppliers like IKO. IKO Cambridge is one of the heaviest weight asphalt shingles you can buy, and their limited warranties are among the industry's best. Protect the investment you've made in your home. Go with the pros at Cleveland Plywood, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland. Call 472-3357.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardee's. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. I'm Jim, along with Jacob. Andy's not here today. He had something he had to do this afternoon. By the way, there is actual football news coming out of the Southeastern Conference. Vanderbilt named senior Blaze Berlowitz as the starting quarterback. You know, everyone thought that Jared Curtis, the 5-star freshman that went to Vandy, a lot of people thought he would get that starting job, I should say. But Blaze Berlowitz will get the week 1 matchup against Austin Peay. Now, this guy has, he's been around. He began his career at New Mexico State, and of course, he ended up there at Vanderbilt. But he's a dual threat passer, and we'll just see how he performs. He's from Cushing, Oklahoma, but I wasn't expecting Blaze Berlowitz to get that starting job. I thought for sure that Jared Curtis would get it.
Well, I mean, from everything that came out of that recruitment, it was basically promised to him that he was going to come in, be the freshman starter, be the guy. And, for Georgia fans, we're very in tune with that because he was committed to the Dogs for a long time. But Curtis being out of Nashville, got an NIL deal to be in a movie, was hanging out with Theo Vaughn and, that crew. And to me, if this is like a long-term sit-behind, it's not just like this is who's starting the season, we're planning on Jared Curtis to take over at some point in time, you're sitting behind a guy from, where'd you say, New Mexico?
Well, he started at New Mexico State. He basically followed
Pavia.
Yeah, Pavia to Vanderbilt because that's where he was, too.
You're sitting behind a guy that was at New Mexico State, or you could be learning under Kirby Smart and Gunnar Stockton, SEC champion. To me,
I know where you're going with it.
To me, this is not a great look. NIL sticking its finger in things again that not necessarily the best for college football players.
All right. Speaking of Georgia, so this is kind of a layup for you. I think this is going to be an easy one for you. From 2020 to 2025, the 6 years, there's only 5 programs that have won 80% of their games at the FBS level. And by the way, this does not include like North Dakota State that we're talking about. They actually played. That's 6 years. 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because
right, but you're saying 5 programs.
There's 5 programs that have won 80% of their games. Name all 5.
Georgia, Ohio State, Notre Dame. Who else is Oregon?
Well, that's the one I didn't think you'd get.
Yep. So those are the 4, and then I'm missing
Georgia, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon. You've got 1, 2, 4, and 5.
80%. Who? Texas?
Nope. Texas has only won 70% of their games.
70. Not Clemson, not Penn State, not. I'm trying to think of guys that were in the top. It can't be. No, it's not Texas Tech. They have only been relevant the past couple of years. Is it Oklahoma?
Nope, not Oklahoma.
Because they a couple 9-win seasons.
Those, they've had their bumps in the road too.
I'm just trying to think of other schools that.
So I'll name again. Georgia, by the way, they've won. They've got the highest winning percentage. They're 73-9. They've won 89% of their games. Ohio State is second, 66-11, 86%. Notre Dame 64-15, 81%. Oregon 62-15, just barely 80.5%.
So I'm missing number 5.
You're missing number 3, actually.
Oh, number 3.
Yeah. 1, 2, 4, and 5 of who you got. You're missing number 3. There's 5 teams at the FBS level that have won 80% of their games from 2020 to 2025.
I feel like Alabama's the wrong answer, but is it Alabama?
It's Alabama.
Okay. I just thought that with him losing
4 games last 2 years.
8 games in the last
2 years.
2 years. I just thought that was
that's hurt them. But Saban was so darn good.
They had 20, 21, 22.
2000, 2020, I should say, they were undefeated national champs.
They were in it in 21. They were right on the cusp of it in 22.
Yep.
They knocked us out of it in 23.
Is it not crazy to you? It seems like Alabama seems to be flying under the radar everywhere you look this year. And I'm sitting there going, they still got some pretty good guys on that roster. And I know Kalen DeBoer is not Nick Saban, but Kalen DeBoer has won. I mean, he took Washington to the national championship game. They lost to Michigan, but they were there. I just have a sneaky suspicion that Alabama's going to be better than a lot of experts. I have them ranked number 7 in my rankings.
I think I had them at 8 or 9. Me and you have them higher than Andy does. Again, they could easily be in that top, because here's the thing, their defense is going to be good. They're going to have, outside of Notre Dame, one of the best.
Can they run the ball? That's the big key for them.
They're outside of Notre Dame, and really Georgia. I think Georgia has one of the better secondaries in the country coming back. Outside of Notre Dame and Georgia, I think they're right up there with one of the best secondaries in the country. Their defense is going to be just fine.
Defense is going to be great.
I think they're looking for a guy on the defensive line that's going to show up, but let's be honest, they've been recruiting just like they did when Nick Saban was there towards the end of his career. They've got the talent on the roster. can they run the football?
If they could have run the football last year, they'd have been much better off, but they couldn't run it at all, man.
Yeah. And really, like you saw a game, they went to Athens and just threw all over us. Yeah. I mean, Ty Simpson looked like he was.
And by the way, Ty Simpson's looking pretty good in preseason.
Yeah, he is.
He's good.
And so to me, again, I'm with you. And really, I let the last 2 years. I kept on saying Alabama out, like in my head, but no way. They've lost 8 games in the last 2 years.
I thought for sure that you would have got Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, Notre Dame. I thought you'd miss Oregon, but you got them pretty easy.
Oregon under Dan Lanning, and really even before Dan Lanning, have had such a great. They just haven't been able to get over the hump. And you've heard me say this on the show. They will win a national championship under Dan Lanning.
They've got to do this to get people off their backs.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's this year, Jim.
I wouldn't either. I would
not be surprised if they win it this year.
They're a strong team.
I think I have them at 3.
I've got them at 3.
Yeah.
I've got Georgia 2.
I think Andy has them at 3 too.
Yeah. Hey, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get back into it. Hey, we've got some more college football. We're going to get into that. We're going to rehash what's been going on with the courts and college football. You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Welcome back to The Drive. The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardee's.
It's back to school. This is Professor John Davis at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway, and this is Car Buying 101. What is the most important aspect of buying a new car? Is it A, the lowest price guaranteed, B, the best selection in Tennessee, C, up to $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book market value for your trade-in, or is it D, all of the above? The right answer is always Kia of Cleveland, where you get all of the above, up to $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book market value for any trade in any condition. Bad credit? Don't sweat it. Kia Cleveland has lenders that will say yes to you and yes to your situation. Plus, I'll be any deal from anywhere in Georgia, Tennessee, or Alabama. Come see me, John Davis, at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway, where buying a car is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Looking for the dealer who's gonna give you more. Kia of Cleveland Superstore.
Max trade toward the purchase of select models. Price comparison for exact same in-stock vehicle. Offers don't combine. Expires month end.
KiaofCleveland.com.
This is your Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match alarm. We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready, or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any 2 for just $5 for a limited time, only at Hardee's. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Hey y'all, this is Alfonso, General Manager over at Crown Cleveland. Please visit us online to see our entire used car inventory, all different makes and models, all different budget levels. Please give us an opportunity. Google Crown Cleveland.
Assured Alarms here in Cleveland is locally owned and operated by Terry Buckner and Wesley Birchfield. They've been in business since 2004 and can design a new security, fire, and camera system specific to your needs. They're not a chain, they're not a franchise. They're your local alarm company. Call Assured Alarms today at 423-478-5222. That's Assured Alarms here in Cleveland, protecting you and your loved ones with Assured Alarms.
Honda of Cleveland is giving away a brand new 2027 Honda Civic to a deserving coach this year. From Pee Wee League to the college level, all athletic coaches are eligible. Each month, we will choose a coach for that month, and at the end of the year, the 12 finalists will gather to be celebrated and see who wins that brand new 2027 Honda Civic from Honda of Cleveland. Nominate your favorite coach at mymix1041.com.
For decades, Best Buy Metals has been shaping more than metal. We've been building strength, one roof, one wall, one community at a time. This isn't just roofing and siding, it's steel formed with purpose, made to withstand difficult storms, because what we make doesn't just cover buildings, it protects what matters most. Get inspired today by visiting bestbuymetalroof.com. Best Buy Metals, designed to inspire, made to protect, driven to serve.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Zaxby's is more than just a humble chicken joint. It's a humble chicken joint with the best sauces in the world. See, at Zaxby's, you don't just get their famous hand-breaded chicken fingers, fried to golden perfection with that flavor you know and love. At Zaxby's, you get the sauce. Dip, dunk, and drizzle with your choice of 12 different sauces like Zax sauce, tongue torch, and hot honey mustard. So if you want a whole lot of sauce, you need to find yourself a Zaxby's. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 1013, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 1013.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardee's. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, espncleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to the second hour of The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Hopefully everyone out there is having a good afternoon. And unfortunately, the state of Tennessee is not having a good afternoon. We brought it up in the first hour, but I think we could justify bringing it up again. In case you haven't heard, the legendary Dolly Parton passed away at 80 years old this afternoon. And like we talked about this in the first hour, one of the greatest ambassadors that the state of Tennessee has ever had, and you can make an argument she's the greatest ambassador we've ever had.
Yeah, what she's done for our state, what she's done for our kids, education, local high schools. Like I can go down the list. You know, it's just she has played such a major role, and it's just not even going to seem real that she's no longer with us.
Yeah, and do you have a favorite song of hers? I like Jolene and I like 9 to 5. I can't get to decide which one of those.
Mine would have to be 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Because that's something I could turn in my car like as I leave right here and just absolutely like jam with the windows down and not feel any kind of like judgment at all.
First off, have you ever seen the movie 9 to 5?
Yeah, a long time ago.
It is very, very good. She was great in that movie,
but Jolene's such a good one.
It is, and
that's something we want to know. Text the Warren and Griffin text line 423-749-1013. What is your favorite Dolly Parton song?
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, she had a lot of them, but and Jolene, it's a good one, man. It's mine would be 9 to 5, but Jolene's right up there with it, though. She was such a good lady, and like you said, the Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area. She made that area what it is now.
Yeah, she put it on the map.
I mean, really, Gatlinburg was there way ahead, but Pigeon Forge, it was all about Dolly made Pigeon Forge what it is. When she bought Silver Dollar City and she turned it into Dollywood, that just made that. It's one of the great amusement parks in this country.
Andy said Hard Candy Christmas. I'm guessing that's a song, maybe.
Yeah, that one's not. I'm trying to play that in my mind, and I'm not able to.
He's going to give us.
I know I've heard it. I'm just not able to put it in my brain right now.
He's going to give us grief. But good news is,
he ain't here.
He ain't here.
By the way, we got to share this with our listeners. So I gave I gave Jacob the trivia question. The 5 schools that have won 80% of their games from 2020 to 2025. And so you're sitting there racking them off, and you did really good. You got 4 off the bat just like that. And you were just kind of like debating, and Alabama came to your mind, but you thought, that can't be right because they've lost 4 games the last 2 years, 8 games total. That probably put them below the 80% mark. Well, it was Alabama. Andy's over here giving you grief because you weren't reading his text messages trying to help you out.
Hey, all on my own, don't need Andy's help. Like I told him on the phone when he called, we've gotten to all of our breaks on time today. Everything is ran real smooth. Sometimes we just need a break from Mr. Morris.
You guys, man, and when he's here and you're not, I mean, it's just like one dig after another.
I'm very well aware.
I know you are, and he's aware of it. And the thing is, he's not here. He can't say a word about it.
Nope.
Can't say a word about it.
That's how I like it, Jim. That's exactly how I like it. No. So in lieu of the sad news that Tennessee has gotten, Tennessee did get some good news today. We talked about it earlier in the show. Arian Carter's suspension taken down from 2 games to 1, meaning he's just going to miss the Furman game, which in all reality, we've sat here and talked about, not that big of a deal. Getting them back for Georgia Tech, though,
that's huge.
Big deal for the Volunteers.
Had this stuff not happened with the former NFL players coming back to college, I believe this thing is staying at 2.
Yeah.
I believe it would have stayed at 2, and I thought the NCAA's like, they're calling us, names, and we're toothless. We don't have. Hey, let's make everyone.
But is it not
love
wild?
us a little bit?
Is it not wild that he's suspended at all?
It really is. Now, compared to what all else is going on, compared to everything else,
if everything sticks, and so if you're just joining us and you don't know what we're talking about, LSU's trying to rewrite history and say, hey, it's okay that you've played in preseason games. It's okay that you've recorded sacks in the NFL. Like they've recorded. There's players that have recorded sacks, have caught passes. We're going to take you. You know what? There's a 5th year of eligibility. You went through the draft process. You either got drafted or you didn't. You know what? Come on back to Death Valley right here, where Death Valley is now going to stand for the death of college football and what we know of it today.
Well, I believe that none of these guys will ever play for LSU. The guys that were playing with the Browns and elsewhere that have said they're going to come back. And they're using the word transfer. How do you transfer from an NFL franchise to a college program? That word shouldn't even be used. They're just walking on, I think is what it would be. But, we talked about it earlier. Earlier in the summer, Joey McGuire, the head coach at Texas Tech, and Brendan Sorsby, the quarterback, we were thinking that those were the bad guys. Those are the villains of college football in 2026.
That news
LSU says, hold my beer.
Yeah, that news has gone and died. Like, honestly. It's crazy. If you would have asked me every game that Texas Tech would have been in, and probably still so, the Big 12 hasn't forgotten about this. We're not really in Texas Tech country, so, we're not going to really pay attention to this. But the LSU stuff, Lord, we get started right out of the gate. Week 3, they're traveling to Ole Miss,
and they're aren't they coming to Knoxville?
Coming to Knoxville, and what's funny, and I loved Josh Heupel's SEC media days. He goes, I hope the temperature of our fan base hasn't gotten turned down. He said, I hope that they sell out of mustard bottles, and I hope that the golf balls are sold off the shelf. And
oh my gosh,
he took that temperature gauge and just cranked that son of a gun all the way up, and then Lane Kiffin just keeps on fanning the fire.
I really I thought that Lane Kiffin had changed his ways. I tried to defend him. I feel bad now because I was totally wrong about him. I thought he's grown up, he's matured. That when he was at Tennessee, we know what he did there. He leaves after 1 year, goes to USC. USC fires him on the tarmac there. And then he goes to, Florida Atlantic after he was at Alabama, learned under the, Nick Saban, goes to Florida Atlantic. He gets the job at Ole Miss. And listen, what he did at Ole Miss, I didn't think was doable. I always considered the SEC had haves and have-nots. And I put Ole Miss in the have-nots. I put them in the same category as Mississippi State, Arkansas, and Vanderbilt and Kentucky. And I did. I put them in the same category. He proved me wrong that you can win at Ole Miss and that a national championship was literally pretty close to fruition last year. Had they been able to beat Miami, who's to say that Ole Miss doesn't beat Indiana? We'll never know now. But they played Miami toe to toe, man.
Yeah.
And we saw what Miami did to Indiana. Indiana had to. It took a bad throw for them because they were driving down that field. I'm convinced that Miami was going to score a touchdown.
Well, and then and again, this is getting into hypotheticals and getting in the weeds of everything. But the difference between Miami and Ole Miss is Ole Miss has a quarterback that can make plays on his feet.
Yeah, and of course, and there's another one. A guy that he got a court order to come back this year, but he never put on an NFL uniform.
Right.
That's the thing that gets me. Is that's.
You said you don't think they will. I hope they don't, and logic says that they shouldn't. In today's college football, we have no idea.
Right. So in case you're just now joining us right now, we're talking about the situation. The Big Ten, by the way, has come down. You cannot play at any of the 18 Big Ten institutions if you were ever on a professional roster, participated in and went through the draft and things like that. It's a rule now. And if you do, the coach can be suspended for half the year, and there's a financial penalty that's going to be
punitive fines.
So the Big Ten came down pretty hard about. So it's not going to happen. Now that's today. Tomorrow, I expect the ACC is going to do something probably exactly or very similar to what the Big Ten's doing, and I think the SEC is going to do to it, and probably the Big 12 too. I believe all four of those Power Four conferences are going to lay down the law that this isn't going to happen, and that's going to make LSU to these guys. Jacob, there's no way I can see them playing. I just can't.
I hope you're right, Jim. I truly do. And good on the Big Ten. Good on. We talked about it in the first hour. Good on Dan Lanning. I feel like he kind of spearheaded this and was the one that kind of brought it in. And he's the one that said we're not doing it. It's not going to happen. And I want to hats off to the Big Ten for making the first step, because I think it's going to be a snowball effect.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk with Jamie Brenneman from Chattanooga Exteriors, and we'll ask him his opinion on the starting quarterback at Tennessee and also what's going on down in Baton Rouge. You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardee's.
A most elevated experience has arrived at Hardee's. Prime rib. Tender, succulent prime rib. Bathed in au jus. Placed upon char-broiled Angus beef. The new prime rib experience with a burger exuding fancy flavor at a not-so-fancy price. Just $5.99 for My Rewards members on the app for a limited time. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Not valid for use within a combo in combination with any other offer or discount.
At Chattanooga Exteriors, we provide effective, high-quality design solutions in an ethical manner to the Cleveland, Tennessee area using only superior products.
Visit us at ChattanoogaExteriors.com or call us at 423-805-3800.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
Hey y'all, this is Alfonso, General Manager over at Crown Cleveland. Please visit us online to see our entire used car inventory, all different makes and models, all different budget levels. Please give us an opportunity. Google Crown Cleveland.
Cleveland Tire Center is celebrating their 50th anniversary with big savings all this month on the best names in tires. Bridgestone, Firestone, Goodyear, Cooper, and Michelin. Plus, big savings on Toyo. Cleveland Tire Center is celebrating the birthday, but you get the gifts. Plus, big savings in the service department. Cleveland Tire Center at 4699 North Lee Highway in Cleveland, where the name says it all for 50 years. Buckner and Feig Funeral Home and Cremation has reopened under the leadership of Ralph Buckner Jr., renewing commitment to affordable, dignified care. Buckner and Feig Funeral Home and Cremation is here to provide the families of Cleveland and Bradley County with the most affordable, compassionate, and dignified funeral services available, restoring trust, strengthening community ties, and setting a new standard for affordability without compromising dignity. Visit bucknerfike.com.
At Chattanooga Exteriors, we provide effective, high-quality design solutions in an ethical manner to the Cleveland, Tennessee area using only superior products.
Visit us at ChattanoogaExteriors.com or call us at 423-805-3800.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardee's. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Hope everyone out there is having a good Tuesday. And joining us right now on the phone line is Jamie Brenneman from Chattanooga Exteriors. And Jamie, how is everything going with you, man?
It's going great, man. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good. So the first thing I want to ask you is Arian Carter, his suspension was reduced from 2 to 1. Big or not, having him available for Georgia Tech?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's huge with, Georgia Tech's offense. I think it's a huge thing, and that's a big game. We can live without him for the Furman game, but I think getting him back, I think the NCAA, they knew that they, kind of overstepped and, they made a mistake, and this is just probably something to save face, I believe, so.
Yeah, but the big news was yesterday. Faison Brandon was named the starting quarterback for Tennessee. Were you happy? Were you thinking it was going to be George McIntyre? Or your thoughts?
Yeah, on this show a couple of weeks ago, y'all asked me, and I said it would be George McIntyre, just because I believe that we would go with a sophomore over the freshman, and because it was kind of, from everything I was hearing, it's kind of a dead heat. So apparently, in these couple of scrimmages, Faison Brandon has kind of separated himself. So I'm happy. I have full confidence in Heupel. He's going with, I believe, what is the biggest upside is with Faison Brandon. And so I believe that Heupel's going to go with him, is going with him, and he's going to stick with him unless he shows him otherwise.
So you guys are graciously, sponsoring our jersey countdown today. Number 4, a lot of controversy I feel like could be made with this one. We could have gone with Dak Prescott. Florida fans might say Kyle Pitts, but me as a dog, I'm really happy with our choice here. We went with the legend Champ Bailey for 4 days out. What do you think about that?
He is one I would say is probably. I would say would be on the all-SEC team if you were to say, like, all-time. I'm
big, man.
I'm a Tennessee.
Yeah,
I'm a Tennessee fan, but like he was one of those guys that you knew that he was going to make an impact in a game, and I know opposing quarterbacks and wide receivers feared Champ Bailey, and so I believe that that's probably the best bet for the number 4 on the countdown.
Yeah, it's hard to argue when a guy plays defense, but then, Lord, he had snaps at quarterback, he had snaps at wide receiver, he was a return specialist.
Mm-hmm.
Like he kind of did it all. It reminds you a lot of what Deion did back in the day. Like he was just a guy that was a phenomenal football player, and then went on to have a great NFL career as well.
Yeah. Didn't he play for the Broncos?
He did. Yeah, he was a stud in the NFL too.
He's just a great athlete.
Got to get your opinion on what's going on with Lane Kiffin and LSU.
Oh man, so me and my best friends, we have this group chat, and I think that's all we've talked about today is like the level of if inconsistency in college football, and it's like we can suspend Arian Carter over here, but we're going to allow these guys that were practicing on NFL teams and played preseason games. Oh, you can come back to college now. And it's just, and we were talking about the Alabama basketball player, that came back from the G League.
Right.
That played a couple games at Alabama. And then, it's just we've got to stop this at some point. It's just getting out of hand. And there's no, it's the wild, wild west, and just anything can go. And it's just like, oh yeah, you want to come over here and you want to come back here. And it's just, there's got to be, I think the NCAA needs to be reformed and kind of just I think there needs to be a commissioner of college football.
Absolutely.
My vote's Josh Pate. I'm voting for Josh Pate right now.
I would go with that.
If he was the commissioner of college football, I feel like things would be fixed.
Oh yeah, dude. I listen to that guy, and he's got some great ideas. And I think I've watched one of his videos one time where he broke it down like, hey, this is what I would do, and these are the things that are wrong with college football, and this is how we would fix it. And there's just a lot of things that just, but I mean, I think these college coaches, and I kind of don't. I mean, yes, Lane Kiffin, he's the one that's in the front of this, but any college coach is probably going to do that if they can get away with it, because if they have a need at tight end and they're like, hey, this guy, wants to come back to college, and it's like
the problem I have with it. The problem I have with it is I think Lane sought this out. Like, genuinely, I think he's the one that behind closed doors said, I think this is a possibility. And if you would have asked me at the beginning of this summer who the villain of college football was, we would have all said Texas Tech. Now I feel like that Texas Tech Sorsby stuff is so far in the rearview mirror, and Lane Kiffin has just put himself on a billboard and said, hold my beer, watch this. Here I am. I'm back as the villain.
And he's just going to, I mean, unfortunately, he's the villain everybody loves to hate, and he's always going to be that way. I think he's just always going to be in the spotlight, and he was that way at Tennessee. I mean, if y'all remember, he was always stirring the pot and always causing controversy, and he was like, hey, that's I'm going to do that, so we keep Tennessee in the press, and we keep kids will look at us and this and that, and so I think that's just part of his strategy. I mean, and I think it's always going to be that way. I think we just need to get used to it.
As a Georgia fan, he loved to stir the pot, and I'll never forget. He says, "Well, I'm the coach at the University of Tennessee. We'll never lose to Georgia," and dadgummit, he was right. He was right. He got on the tarmac and headed out in the middle of the night.
Oh, man. All right, Jamie.
He's a character.
Tell us a little bit what's going on with Chattanooga Exteriors.
Yeah, so we're working. We are remodeling and replacing decks and siding, windows, doors, roofs. So if you need any of that stuff done to your home and don't know where to start, the best place is to call us at 423-805-3800, or you can go on our website, ChattanoogaExteriors.com, and click the contact form, give us your information, and we'll be in touch with you.
Jamie, can you believe the next time we talk, it'll be game week? Tennessee will be playing the following Saturday after we talk to you next Monday, or Tuesday, I should say.
I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
All right, man. Listen, hey, appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, same to you, man. Jamie Brenneman from Chattanooga Exteriors, we appreciate him. And yes, number 4, Champ Bailey. To me, that's the obvious answer.
Yeah, it's hard to argue. I mean, when you look at what he was able to do, offense, defense, special teams, how he affected the game, like he was a monster.
Whenever you've seen, I've seen him, I'm sure you've seen him too, whenever you see that like an all-time SEC team, his name's on there.
Yeah.
You've got certain guys, or Reggie White's on there. You got certain guys that they're no-brainers. Now, if you were going to do an all-time SEC team, who would your quarterback be?
Tim Tebow.
Over Peyton Manning?
Yeah. It's simply from a leadership standpoint. Truly, if you can get a bunch of convicts to win a national championship like Tim Tebow did, I think you can, win a lot of football games. I just think, in my opinion, he is one of the greatest leaders to have ever stepped foot on a football field, a college football field.
Yeah. See, now I know that Peyton didn't win a Heisman and Tebow did, and Peyton didn't win a national championship. Tebow actually won 2, one as a backup, one as a starter. But Peyton Manning would be my guy.
Yeah.
And I think I'm in the minority. I think most people would choose Tim Tebow.
I think a lot of fans of the station would be on your side. And to be quite honest with you, if I were a little bit older, like you got to think, Peyton Manning was playing for the Vols when I was like 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And so like watching Tim Tebow with my young eyes, like when I was watching, I just, it's hard for me to think that there's not a better leader to go out and win yourself.
Well, he's probably the best human being that's ever played in the Southeastern Conference. I'll tell you what, he is such a genuinely good human being. This guy does so much good work. I think the most of Tim Tebow when it comes to everything that he does outside of football. But on the football field, he was pretty darn good too.
Andy says, "Give me Jared Lorenz."
Jared Lorenzen.
Yeah, the hefty
the
lefty.
hefty lefty from Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know, he passed away, I think, a couple years ago. Yeah, listen, he was a big dude. Have you ever seen videos of him? He was hard to bring down, and he was a great quarterback
I'll be
at the
honest,
college level.
I wouldn't have known him just based off his name. The moment he said the hefty lefty, I knew the Kentucky quarterback that he was talking about. So, no, and really, I know we only have one season of work with him, but Cam Newton might be one, like just in that 1 year.
Well, Johnny Manziel, if you want to talk about it like that, for 1 year.
Didn't they both wear 2?
Yes, they did.
Oh, man.
Ooh, number 2's coming up in 2 days.
It's coming.
It's got to be Cam Newton. If it's not Cam Newton, if they give it, if it's Johnny Manziel,
Johnny Football, the only freshman to ever win the Heisman.
I don't care. He's not. He didn't win a national championship. He wasn't the player that Cam Newton was. I cannot wait for number 2.
I know.
I didn't even think about that.
Stephen Shelton is sitting at home just like twiddling his fingers, like super excited because he knows who it is.
Yeah.
We have no idea who it's going to be yet. He's just twiddling his thumb saying, I can't wait for this. Because really, and what if we're wrong? Is there anybody that we're not thinking of?
I'm so bad with numbers, man. I am so bad with jersey numbers. It's something that it's never been one of those things where I've ever really tried to, memorize guys like this. No, but it's got to be Cam Newton. Johnny Manziel, though, I mean, for one season, he was pretty good, but he didn't lead Texas A&M to a national championship. He upset Alabama, and, he was a Heisman Trophy winner. He was no Cam Newton, man.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Cam Newton, in all honesty, that 1 year, I just remember thinking, like, we had them 3rd and, 14. And I was like, they're off the field. They're getting off the field. No way. And literally, he sat in that pocket and said, I think I can get 14 yards on my feet.
That 1 year that he took Auburn, Alabama was beating them to death in the Iron Bowl, just dominating this game. I thought it was over. I said, Alabama has got this game in the bag. Cam Newton put that team on his back, and he willed them to that win. And that was one of the most unbelievable comebacks, especially against a Nick Saban defense. And he was able to do something in the second half that I didn't think could be done. He dominated. He did this, obviously, as one by himself. But as close to a one-man show as you could have in football.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
He was.
So we'll see. I think you're right. I think it's going to be Cam Newton. I guess we're going to have to wait 2 days to find out. Tomorrow, number 3 will be on the list, and your guess is as good as mine. I know that document's been shared with me, but the same way that these show notes are shared with me, I don't ever read them.
Well, they're right there staring you in the face. Number 3, now that's tomorrow. Who in the world?
Todd Gurley.
Did he? I'm assuming you say that. Todd. I can't think of anybody. Number 3 is one. Number 3. Let me ask you: when you played sports,
they're not going back to back Georgia. They're not going back to back Dogs.
You never know. When you played sports, did you have a number that you liked to wear?
Yeah.
What was your number?
I loved 3.
That is so funny.
I loved 33. My dad wore 33. But I was a chubby feller, and so I wore 55.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
55 was my number, and so
I was a 12. I like to wear 12. And listen, I wasn't much of a football player, but I wore 12 in baseball. Which is there a great 12 in baseball? I'm sure there is. I just can't think of one.
As an adult, I really like the number 11 now, though.
So you like a double digit? Do you like 22, 33, 44?
Yeah, I like 11 though because I have given I gave a nickname to a guy, and it's now his Instagram handle. He was a player at Walker Valley, but I called him Sticks.
Okay, for the numbers, yeah.
And so, I love the number 11. I'll whoever wears it, I'll say, "What's up, Sticks?" And so that's like their nickname to me.
That is funny. Yeah. Has Andy ever said? Did he ever wear have a jersey?
He
number
played football, so I'm sure he had a number.
Of course, now in football, a lot of times it was like you just got the number they issued you because obviously you weren't going to be 67 and play quarterback.
Yeah.
There's certain numbers you got to wear
Like
at certain positions.
My freshman year at Cleveland High School, I wasn't getting 55. I was given the number 65, but eventually was able to get that 55 back. And so, yeah, I just thought I was also the one that had the big net pad that didn't need it. You know, like I looked huge, but I was just looking huge over there, standing
the neck collar,
standing on the sideline. You know, just looking, and I'd pull the jersey over the neck collar so it made me look all.
Let me tell you something. There was nothing more cool than wearing your football jersey to school on a Friday.
Yeah,
is that not true?
And if you wore the whites, you stayed away from the ketchup, because if you got red on that jersey or something, and
it wasn't coming out prior to the game.
Coach, I got a nosebleed. It was a nosebleed.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, Friday wearing your jersey is probably top 5 feelings for sure.
And I'm assuming that that's still a thing that's done these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been in school in so long.
Yeah.
Now, at the middle school, do y'all wear?
They wear them on Thursdays.
On Thursdays, okay.
Yep, they do.
So, that's cool.
And then baseball player, at least at the middle school, I don't know that they do that in high school, but my baseball guys wear them on game days.
Really?
Yeah, they love to.
I don't think that was a thing when I was in high school, but the football, of course, the basketball players aren't going to wear their tank tops around unless they had a T-shirt underneath it. But no, if the football guys wearing their jerseys on game day, I didn't play football. I was always envious. I always thought that. Bradley had great-looking uniforms. They had the big mesh jerseys back then, and you had to put a shirt underneath it because
see-through
things would be sticking out.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that, let's go ahead and take a break. Hey, you're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. When we come back, I guess we're going to do a dadgum segment, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some college football news. You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardee's.
Good morning. This is your Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match alarm.
We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready. Or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any 2 for just $5 for a limited time. Only at Hardee's. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Hi, this is Jay and Brittany Hagee from Alon Planning Partners. What do you think your biggest expense in retirement will be? Healthcare? Housing cost? Inflation? This may come as a surprise, but it's actually taxes. Most every one of you listening has an IRA, a 401k, or some type of tax-qualified account, which means all of that money isn't yours. You have a partner in those accounts. It's Uncle Sam.
So the real question is, how do you keep more of your hard-earned savings in your pocket? We at Alon Planning Partners have a solution. We created a tax calculator just for you. Go to exchangемytaxbill.com. Again, visit exchangemytaxbill.com, input some basic information, and you'll see your tax liability through retirement. We can help you craft a plan that will give you peace of mind to and through your retirement years.
So visit exchangemytaxbill.com to take the next step. Again, exchangemytaxbill.com will help you craft a tax plan to help bring clarity to your financial future.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
When life gets busy, Little Caesars can be there to help with hot and ready pizzas and more from 4 to 8 p.m. You can't beat the taste of delicious pizza at a great price and hot and ready for dinner. 3 locations, Paul Huff, Key Street, and McGrady Drive, or order online.
Cityscope Magazine. Beautiful, engaging, uplifting, inspiring. It's that time to relax and enjoy your day. Featuring businesses, sports, entertainment, the arts, homes, fashion, food, and more. Experience the beauty of stunning photography. Enjoy the stories of local men and women, the success of coworkers and friends. Cityscope Magazine. It's that time to relax. It's sure to make your day. See us online or subscribe at cityscopemag.com. Cityscopemag.com. Cityscope Magazine. It's that time to relax and enjoy your day.
Cleveland, the all-new Select Flooring and Remodeling is now open at 5555 North Lee Highway. We carry the top flooring brands you know and trust: Mohawk, Shaw, Engineer Floors, and United Weavers. We also specialize in home remodeling and roofing, delivering quality you can count on. Take advantage of 24 months interest-free credit. Come see us Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 2. Call us today at 423-889-3007. That's Select Flooring and Remodeling, 5555 North Lee Highway, Cleveland. From the floors to the roof, we've got you covered.
Not all composite decking is the same. Enjoy life's beautiful moments on an equally beautiful composite deck. Envision's products feature deep, non-repeating grains and distinct colors throughout each pour, offering a truly unique appearance unlike anything else on the market. Learn more and find inspiration for your project at Cleveland Plywood. Cleveland Plywood Company, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland.
In Cleveland, we love local. Local food, local music, local pride. It's what makes this city ours. So when you need insurance, your agent should be local too. Your local Allstate agent, George Gray, knows this town. And because they're just down the road, they'll also get to know you. That means coverage tailored to your life and savings you didn't even know you qualified for. When you keep it local, it pays. So if you're in the market for insurance, contact your local Allstate agent, George Gray, today. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Potential savings vary. Allstate North America Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardee's. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Hope everyone out there is having a good Tuesday. And joining us right now on the phone line is Walker Valley head football coach Drew Akins. And, Coach, we appreciate you coming on with us. And got to ask you right off the bat, lightning delays, man. How do you prepare for that, man?
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, we weren't. I guess we've never had that. We've had it one time that I can remember in my, 17 total years of coaching. I remember one time that we had a lightning delay. But we didn't go back out. It stayed for the rest of the night. Obviously, we didn't have the answer. I thought we went into the first lightning delay with maybe not all the momentum, but a lot of the momentum. We went into the second lightning delay with no momentum. And honestly, don't feel like we handled either lightning delay well. And I think it's just something you learn from. On Sunday, we ended up talking about it and say, hey, what do we need to do to make sure we stay focused and locked in during a lightning delay, but that we're not overly focused and almost over intense while you're resting. So it's a weird balance that we've never had to experience before, and something that we came up with a plan on Sunday of what we do if that happens to us again. Hopefully it doesn't, because that kind of breaks up rhythm for sure, and it feels like you're restarting the game so many times. But ultimately, we've got to do a better job as coaches is making sure our guys, come back out with the same energy they go in with.
Coach, tough loss, but what are some things that you take away from that game that you say we did pretty well?
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I don't feel like our kids, especially defensively, that we lost effort and energy throughout the game. Late in the game, we're still playing as hard as we played early in the game. We had several effort plays. When you go watch the film, 48 points looks really bad. But when you're on the field 80 snaps, it's really hard to not give up a bunch of points. So, it's part of you looks at the points and said, man, we played horrible on defense. But when you actually watch the film, I was really proud of our effort. Guys like Braylon Beard played with great effort throughout the night. C.T. Gunner played outstanding. throughout the night. You know, he did a great job coming down and making tackles from the safety position. So those things on defense I was really proud of to watch our guys do that. I think offensively, you step away, again, you look at the bat of, through 5 interceptions, but we still threw for 264 yards, I think. And Sawyer really made some really good completions throughout the night. He gave us some good runs, escaping the pocket. Obviously, to escape the pocket and hitting Luke down their sideline was a big play, especially right after they scored. I think the takeaways that we've got to get better at, I think we've got to handle blitz better. Blitz is something that we've historically been very good at, that ultimately we didn't handle well the other night. And we got to be able to run the ball. We got to find some kind of run game that fits our offense, that fits our personnel. For me, it's hard to get away from power counter because that's what we do. Jacob, you've sat with me and watched film a lot over the years. And when you watch film and you see explosive runs from us, typically it's coming from power. So I hate to give that away, and we're not going to. We're going to find ways to do it better and do it ways that fit our kids better. So I think those are some of the major takeaways that we have coming out of this game into this week.
We're talking with Walker Valley head football coach Drew Akins. And, Coach, you talked about the 5 interceptions, but I'll tell you right now, I on the broadcast, I praised the Cleveland guys putting their hands up. And, man, you know this. If you can't get to the quarterback, the next best thing you can do is put your hands up and try to deflect it. And a couple of those interceptions were because they put their hands up, the ball was deflected.
Yeah, I think they did a great job defensively, scheming and making sure that not only did they bring pressure, but they covered up pressure. So they did a great job of that. Obviously, Coach Brown is dynamic. He's been around really good football for a long time. So I knew he would come in with a good plan. I think if we handle the blitz better, that we stop some of that blitz where they can't do that as often, and it kind of allows us to breathe a little bit. Never felt like we were just able to breathe against them throughout the night. They had a couple tip passes that probably would have been completions, honestly, when you go watch the film and you see kind of where we're throwing. We had a really good dig concept that I really liked. Coach Pope made a great call and great timing on it, and they reach up. Number 33 played excellent throughout the night, reaches up and bats it down. Probably would have been a first down throw on a 3rd and long, but again, they played well, and they obviously teach things if you don't get to the quarterback that you teach them to get our hands up, and they did a great job of that.
So, unfortunately, due to some family circumstances for me, I was having to watch the game from the couch on Thursday night. But one of the things that I was watching, and correct me if I'm wrong, I got to see Gabe Martin run out into the field, and I thought it was really cool seeing a young guy like that getting some Friday night experience. Who are some other young faces, along with him, that got some experience this last Friday night?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that. It's almost like we had a pre-show. We didn't even have a pre-show. This is an outstanding question, Jacob. I'm proud of you. We do quarters, so every Friday we go back and watch the game, and we calculate how many quarters kids played. So we had 16 kids get 3 or more quarters the other night, which obviously that's playing the whole game essentially. And 9 out of those 16 on offense. 9 out of those 16, it was their first Friday night experience ever, right? So we had a lot of young guys get a lot of experience the other night. One offensively, you mentioned Gabe. I thought Gabe had a great game. That kid has a great future ahead of him. He cares so much. He wants to play well so badly. Sometimes he almost beats himself up too much because he's so used to making all the plays that when he doesn't, he gets frustrated. But, man, he's going to be a great player throughout his career here. Another one that played the entire game, and we didn't really go in with that plan, but when Ayers got hurt on that punt return, we had to replace him, and Jay Bennett came in and played the entire game at receiver and really did well, got his first catch throughout the night, first catch of his high school career. And ultimately didn't have very many missed assignments for a freshman to go out and do that. It's really impressive. We had a lot of guys that just got their first Friday night experience the other night. And because of that, I think you're going to see us continually throughout the year get better because we're getting experience every week. And when those 9 guys become veteran players in our system, then you could see a lot of success from that.
You're listening to Drew Akins on the Food City High School football coaches interview. Do you buy the phrase, the biggest improvement is from game 1 to game 2?
Absolutely, I buy that phrase. The problem that I have with it for us is I consider Farragut game 1 for us. We run a live NFL-type preseason scrimmage against Farragut, and really that's where I thought we would see a ton of improvement. I hope it holds true in reality from game 1 to game 2. I tell you what, though, Jim, and here's what I'm most proud of from this group of kids and what gives me a lot of hope that we will see the improvement that you're talking about. Our kids have come back and fully understand the mistakes that we made. They haven't shied away from those mistakes, but they also haven't dwelled on those mistakes. They've came in every day willing to go get better and be coached at what we need to do better, listening to schemes that we're trying to make sure that we solidify, all of those things. So I've been really proud of our culture and our leaders, our group of captains that came in and just said, hey, like, it's one game. We can't get too high if we win a game like that. We can't get too low if we lose a game like that. We've just got to keep getting better. And, man, our guys have done such a great job of that, which gives me a ton of hope going into next week that we're going to see a better version of ourselves. And each game we see a better version of ourselves. If we're the best version of ourselves week 10, then we're going to have a great opportunity to have success throughout the playoffs.
Coach, your team's in an interesting scenario in the sense of you're playing 2 teams that, are big emotional games, back to back, but truly don't impact what happens, towards your season when it comes to the playoffs and all of that. But we all know in this town that they mean a lot. Just go ahead and talk about this Friday night and, what that looks like for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's no doubt an emotional game. It's guys that have played together for their whole lives, between playing together in youth league and then playing against each other at Coe and Lake Forest and Cleveland Middle. And the kids kind of split up when they go to high school, and you end up playing guys that you played against at several different schools. And I used to take a different tactic, and it's kind of the tactic you were just talking about of like, hey, this game really doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't change our trajectory of our season, none of that. But when you've lived here and you understand the emotion and the ties and the pride that goes along with these wins within the county and city, you definitely feel that the importance of those, and you ultimately want to win those for your community. It's one big community, but no doubt there's fans for all 3 schools that really have a lot of passion for their school, and that's fun to be a part of. Really stepping back and living in this county and living in this area, you realize how important it is comparative to a lot of places. I coached in Hamilton County for years and never felt the rivalry game the way we feel the rivalry games in our county. So it's a lot of fun to be a part of. Our kids understand it. They want to win the games. And ultimately, we try to make sure whether we win or lose, our kids understand, yes, those games are important and they're emotional, but ultimately our goal is to go win the region. And these games, that's my favorite part about these 2 games early in the season, is it preps us so much for our region games. And the tough region that we play in, these 2 games give us a great look getting prepared for our region games. So that's what I'm most excited about coming out of these 2 games to start the season.
All right, Coach, we're going to go a little different direction. We're going to ask you being the Ole Miss fan that you are, things are going crazy at the collegiate level. From your perspective and what's going on with LSU and Lane Kiffin, I want to get your thoughts about all of this stuff.
Jim, I was going to take it a different route. I was going to say, Coach, is there any chance that Chase Stevens or Brody Swafford or any of those guys? Are you trying to drag some more eligibility out of them, like your boy Lane Kiffin?
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw Twitter. Jared Duke reached out to me. I told Jared he needs to sue, see if he can get some eligibility back. Man, I could use
it's all about
lineman to down block.
It's about getting in front of the right judge, man.
That's exactly right. Listen, I think it's ugly, and we've kind of talked about this for years. Just so I kind of have a weird stance on it when it comes to the Lane Kiffin part of this. Lane Kiffin is doing nothing that's against the rules, right? When it comes to what's being allowed, if a court decides that this is allowed, then he said, even his quote the other day was, somebody's going to recruit these guys, so they're either going to play for you or play against you. And he's of the opinion that he wants as many great players on his football team as he can possibly get, no matter where they come from. And if the rules are going to allow them to do that, if the court system, really, that's the right way to say it, because the rules don't allow this, right? But the court system is allowing this, then his stance, and I understand the stance is, hey, I'm going to go get the best ones to play for me so they don't play for other people. Ultimately, I hate the fact that we're killing opportunities for high school kids. Every time something like this happens, it's another kid that's not allowed to go to that school.
Yep.
And that trickles down, right? We don't have any kid on our team that's going to go play for LSU, correct? But if Daquan Wright drops down to LSU, now LSU loses a tight end to Chattanooga. Now Chattanooga loses a tight end to Carson Newman.
Exactly.
And it trickles down into now Luke Hayden doesn't get an opportunity to go play tight end at whatever school decides that they want him to come play for, right? So it's the trickle-down effect of high school kids losing opportunity. Every time a kid that's 26 years old or a former pro athlete gets to go down and play college ball, a high school kid loses opportunity, and that's sad to me. That's not what college sports is about. That's not – it's become – and I will say this, and this is kind of how I'll end it. When you make everything about money – then don't be surprised when everything is about money. And that's what it feels like. It feels like everything in college sports has become about money, whether it's the kids getting paid, whether it's the programs raising the money, whether, no matter what it is, it feels like everything right now is about money. So I can't be surprised when it turns into Daquan Wright's going to get cut from the Browns, so he's not going to get a paycheck, so he's going to go back to college and make a paycheck there. It's sad and it's frustrating, but it's the world we're living in right now. And until somebody gets a hold of that, I don't see it getting any better, to be honest, because NCAA just keeps losing court cases.
I do have one more question for you, Coach, before we let you go. Do you have a favorite all-time Dolly Parton song?
Man, don't you hate that?
Yeah.
What a sad thing, and what a great person. 9 to 5, Jolene, all of those.
Those are ours.
Are fun songs. But ultimately, I don't think she'll ever be remembered. People are going to remember her music, but her impact and her brand is what she did differently than everyone else. And the joy that she brought people, I don't know, it's kind of hard to – it's a childhood thing, right? Some of our childhood people are – now getting to that age where they're dying, and just the joy, that's what I'll remember. I won't remember music or theme parks or this or that, but I'll always remember the smile that she brought and the joy that she brought people. That was always fun. So I hated seeing that today, but, man, she left it all on the field. There's no doubt. She lived a great life and impacted a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Hey, I will be back with you this Friday night, and we'll get that coach's interview started back up again. So sorry that had to miss this last Friday, but Friday night at Bradley High School, you guys are traveling across town to take on the Bears.
Absolutely, man. Excited for it. Always appreciate you guys having us. Look forward to going out and competing again. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
All right, that was Drew Akins, head coach at Walker Valley. Of course, that is the Food City High School football coaches interview that we do each and every week. We do Coach Brown on Mondays. We do Coach Akins on Tuesdays. And then on Thursdays, we do Coach Damon Floyd from Bradley. So, yeah, he puts things in perspective. He really does. He sees the big picture. And the trickle-down effect, what he said, if you get a guy from an NFL practice team to LSU, then an LSU guy maybe moves to Chattanooga, then a Chattanooga guy moves to Carson Newman, and then so on and so forth. Before you know it, you're at the Division III level. And that does affect high schoolers. When you think about it, it really does, because you've got X number of scholarships or roster slots. And if you add a guy from the professional ranks, there's somebody's going to lose a roster slot.
Yeah, and really, it's affecting our kids. I think that's why we're so passionate about it is, we've had the Boo Carters come through. We've had Chad Wojtek went on to play at Pitt. Like, we've had guys that have gone D1, and, I know that there's people probably screaming at the radio, like, saying you're not naming somebody, but I'm talking about people in my lifetime that I've watched come through here.
Exactly.
We've had great athletes go to the D1 level, but we have a lot of student athletes around here that go compete at all levels, and all that's doing is hurting their chances. And I've watched it happen here with local basketball, with baseball, with all of it. Guys that used to have an opportunity 10 years ago are not getting those same opportunities because of the world of NIL, because of the world of the transfer portal, all of those extra eligibility, whatever it may be. So, yeah, I agree. He puts it in a great perspective, and hopefully, like you said, somebody's going to get a hold of this and wrap their head around it.
Do I have time to do On This Day in Sports?
You got 2 minutes.
Okay. On This Day in Sports, in 1922, the Chicago Cubs beat the Philadelphia Phillies 26-23 in the highest scoring MLB game ever. In 1938, Joe DiMaggio hit his 100th home run in his 395th game, a record at the time, fewest games played to hit your 100th home run. 1957, legendary Milwaukee Brave left-hander Warren Spahn defeated the Philadelphia Phillies 7-3. This victory marked the fourth win in just 9 days as he anchored the franchise's successful push towards the World Series title. Two more. 1985, 20-year-old Dwight Doc Gooden became the youngest pitcher modern era to reach 20 wins. And in 1986, a young, lanky Mark McGwire came up to the Oakland A's and hit the very, very first of his 583 career home runs. I love it.
You know how we know we had a good show? We've expanded to 2 hours, and we didn't even get to the dadgum segment.
I know. We'll have to do it tomorrow.
We have a lot to talk about, and so you and Andy can get to it tomorrow. I will not be in the studio Wednesday or Thursday. Please don't let him talk bad about me.
Well,
give it your best go.
Like I let you talk bad about him.
That's payback. I'm always the one dishing it back to him. So, but hey.
For Jake and Mason, I'm Jim Gum. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you guys tomorrow on The Drive.
The Tennessee Valley's exclusive home for ESPN Radio, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
It's time for a Don Ledford of Cleveland traffic update on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Don Ledford Chevrolet GMC, located on North Lee Highway in Cleveland. Or visit donledford.com for details. Don Ledford, where we say yes. It's on-time traffic with Commander Chuck.
Well, good afternoon. Still busy northbound 75 up by Shallowford Road as that traffic increases headed on up into Cleveland, Bradley County. Lots of radar this afternoon. It's been on and off south of Chattanooga up and down 75, especially throughout that northern section of Catoosa County. Still a bit heavy trying to get across that Chickamauga